Hey guys, Josiah from Quadratic here. Today on the shelf we have the Eachine VR D2 Pro, and I've been looking forward for these coming out for a while. I think they should be quite good because the original ones, just the VR D2s, have been my go-to for quite a while, and they had a few niggles, a few hiccups, but they were really quite good. So today we're going to be taking a look at the upgraded version, comparing the two, seeing if it is worth upgrading if you've already got these or if you're thinking about getting some box FPV headsets. And yeah, basically taking an in-depth review at this. I'm giving away one of these on my Patreon, a brand shiny new one. I'll ship to wherever you want in the world, wherever you're living. So if you want a chance of winning this, head on over to my Patreon and you'll be able to get entered into a chance to win that. I'm also doing my Quadratic battery straps still. They're still on my Patreon as well, so you can go ahead and find them on there. Anyway, that's my promotion over. Let's go ahead and take a look at these goggles, compare them to the previous ones and see what they're like. Okay, so here we have the two goggles. This is the old version, this is the new version here on the right, and you can tell that when you look at the front we've got upgraded on the right hand side. I'll do a quick exterior look, see what's different on the box wise, have a quick look at what's in the box and how that's different from the previous VR D2s, and then we'll go ahead, turn these on and have a look at the electronics system. So going ahead and looking at the boxes, they look pretty much exactly the same, and that's because they are the same exterior mold. There's absolutely nothing that's changed on this other than the two buttons at the front. Instead of these frequency and channel buttons, we now have this upgrade sticker, which, pushing it in, you can actually feel that there's two little holes where these would have been. So they've literally just used that to cover up the fact that those buttons are no longer on there. And then obviously we've got this upgraded sticker. I'm not going to peel that off because I think I might find this Eachine VR D2 sticker underneath, but we're not going to have a look at that now because I don't want to take that sticker off. Anyway, we've also got the LED screen at the very top here, but that hasn't actually turned on when I've been plugging it in. That hasn't come up and showed any of the channels, so I'm thinking that might be a bit useless, but it was used in the last one and they just haven't taken that out. So on the sides you'll see we've got the adjustable lenses as well, which is the same as last time, and it's the same sort of glass as well that they've used, and we don't again have the ability to swap that out, and you'll be able to see it in there. We've got the same glass in there. Taking a look on the bottom, we've still got the holes for the tripod mount, which is quite useful, and a look on the top is exactly the same again, with the little strap for the head strap, and then of course the two male SMA connectors for our antennas. The only thing that is a little bit different is if we look at the front here, you might be able to just about see that the thickness on this faceplate has been extended just the tiniest little bit. If we go from the side, you'll be able to see that it sticks up a little bit more, and that's basically so it's going to mold to our face a little bit better, and it's going to just fit us a little bit better as well. So if I get that out of the way, so you'll be able to see it's just sort of extended itself a tiny little bit. Now you'll be able to see it doesn't have foam on it. That's because it comes unpackaged. We have two different types of foam in here. We've got two different thicknesses. A thin thickness, a thin thinness, which is about the same as this one. And then we've got this one on top here, which looks probably almost double the thickness. So if we go ahead and whack that on, we'll get a lot nicer feel on our face. And that should be a lot better. And also what we've got is this little foam bit here. I'm not sure if this came with the original, I don't ever remember seeing it. We've got two pieces of this foam, and that essentially just goes on here like that on the nose piece. So that will protect our nose and it'll be nice and soft, because if you did have a bit of a big nose like I did, then it was rubbing on this, and it wasn't that careful, especially with the bridge of your nose on here. But I'm hoping with this little bit of soft felt that is going to be a bit nicer. So anyway, that's nothing really changed apart from extending that faceplate a tiny little bit. Same molds used in the factory, I imagine, so they're saving money on that. It would have been nice to see it maybe look a little bit more slimline, but I guess if we want that big screen in there, there's not a lot we can do about that. Anyway, taking a look at the batteries, we'll put those to one side for a minute. We've got pretty much the exact same battery. I'll bring these a little bit closer. We've still got 2,200 milliamp hours and 7.4 volts, so two cells, and you'll see it's exactly the same size. This one's Eachine branded. This one actually isn't, so I'm not sure if they have got this from somewhere else, but it looks like it's exactly the same battery, and they've just put a new sticker over it, and it's the same plug type as well. So I'm not expecting any difference in battery performance there. It might have been nice to see, because these are quite heavy, especially to have on the back of your head, maybe to see something a little bit upgraded that was a little bit weightier, a little bit lighter even, and maybe a little bit bigger as well. But these batteries are quite good. They do last for a good few hours. Taking a closer look at the antennas, the mushroom antennas are both exactly the same, and also you'll be able to see the flat antennas are the same as well. If I can focus on that, you'll be able to see their serial numbers at the top. They're both version 1.0. That's actually upside down, sorry. They're both version 1.0 on here, and they both have the exact same serial number on there. So they are exactly the same, and I've just mixed them up now, and I have no idea which one is which. But fortunately, the ones from the upgraded version don't have that annoying sticker that came on the original version, which you had to take off to get better reception. So this just comes as standard this time. And so yeah, there's not really been any innovation there with the antennas. Nothing upgraded. I would have liked to see possibly a little bit of advancement on there, because these are alright antennas, but I always tend to swap this out for a Triumph. So it might have been nice to see a little bit of change on there. But nevertheless, it's pretty decent anyway, and it has been my go-to pair of goggles, so I can't really complain about that because I have enjoyed using them. One thing I will just mention is that the back plate here is actually a lot nicer in the new version. It's leather, so it molds around to your face, whereas the last time was very hard plastic and wasn't nice at all. And then you had a Velcro strap to attach the battery onto there. However, this time we've got a nice bit of stretchy felt that we can just slip the battery into, and then that will, if I can slip the battery in there, that'll hold it quite nice. And then this foam, and then this leather has got some padding in it as well, so that is going to mold to your back of your head a lot better, and just generally be a nicer wear experience. And these are feeling like a lot better quality straps, to be honest. These are a bit flimsy on the original one, and it was a bit awkward to maneuver it because you had to sort of pull this and drag it down and all that. But this time we've just got simple Velcro, and that has the ability to be Velcroed pretty much everywhere along this strap. So we do have a nice upgraded head strap, and this time it is a lot better with the battery strap on the back of there as well. So props to Eachine for doing that. So taking a closer look at the buttons on the front, you'll notice we've got a scan button on this one, and we've scrapped the frequency and channel buttons. That is because we've got auto scan on this now, so you can just go ahead, press that scan button once, and that will find the best channel for us. We've got the DVR menu, which will take us into a separate menu in the DVR screen, so that we can go ahead and change our recording parameters. We've got the camera and DVR button, which switches between AV1 and AV2, like in the last one, because a lot of people found that they didn't really know how to do it because it was very laggy. But that's if you're in AV1, then it's going to be laggy. If you press it ahead and switch to AV2, then that stops the lag, and I'll show you that in a sec. We've got up and down buttons, selections, and we've also got a menu button. So we're going to go ahead and power this up now using the new battery, which stays in there quite nicely, I've actually found. So we'll go ahead and turn it on, and it takes a couple seconds to boot up, but then you'll see we've got the characteristic white snow of no signal. And you'll notice we've got a couple of things down here. You can see we've actually got a battery voltage monitor, so at the moment I think that says about 8 volts. We've also got the frequency that we're currently operating at, and I'll zoom in on that for you so you can actually see that better. We've got the current operating frequency, so that's 5.695 gigahertz, and we've also got A and B and a little bit of a sort of volume bar. So that A and B indicates the two antennas on the top. I'm not sure which one's which, A and B, I'm not too sure, but basically it's telling you the strength of the connection. So once that's at the top, once that red bar's climbed all the way to the top, you'll know we've got the strongest connection possible. And I'll go ahead and show connecting to that in a bit. So if we go back and look at the cam DVR button and press that, then you'll notice, oh, there you go, oh, you can see my ugly face, that we've gone into the cam DVR menu, and we have card error because we don't actually have a card inserted at the moment that you can see up here, and then we've got the amount of time that we can record on our card, and that's just the same as the last one. So if you're in this view when you're recording, then it's going to be really laggy, and you want to go ahead and press that cam DVR button, sorry, once more, and then it'll go ahead back into the FPV screen. So you can actually turn this off in the menu if you don't want this on constantly, but I think it's quite good because we've got sort of an on-screen display for our goggles, which is a nice touch, and then obviously we'll have our quad with the on-screen display as well. So if we go ahead and press the menu button, we've got a couple of different things that we can change. I'll just see how good this is in here. So we've got the color menu. We can change the backlight and obviously the brightness and contrast and settings and things. Then if we press the menu button again, we can go in and select those and turn everything up or down using the plus or minus buttons on here. And then if we press the cam DVR, you'll notice it has quit at the bottom. So we can actually press that once to escape from there, and then once again to escape out of the menu. So going into the menu and navigating away from the color, you'll see we've got the function, so we can actually change the display on this. We can make it 16:9 or 4:3, which is really good depending on what type of FPV camera you've got. You can change that. Oh, and the menu's gone away. I'll have to keep pressing that. So we can also change the sharpness there and the overscan, but I'm not entirely sure what the overscan is. Now in the RSSI we can change our diversity, so we can turn it on auto or also change it onto just A or just B if we want to do that. We can also calibrate the RSSI, oh and it's gone again, which I'll show me doing in a sec. And also we can change the band scanner and that will automatically allow us to select different bands. We can also look at the on-screen display. We can change the brightness and the position of that if we want, and also the timeout of how long it's on there, and the transparency. So if we don't want that on-screen display on there showing the battery and the signal levels, then we can actually take that off. But I'd probably suggest keeping it on because it is a nice thing to have. Finally, we also have the adjust, so we can change the camera from PAL to NSTC. And also, if we go into these pages here, that basically allows us to change the frequencies that we're receiving at and sort of fine-tune that. So if we go ahead and press the cam DVR button, we'll go ahead and go into the DVR section. And then if we press down the DVR menu while we're in here, you'll see, or I think it could be long press actually. There you go. You'll see that we actually go into a second menu. And here we can change the size that we're actually recording at. So I think it's using these plus and minuses and the middle button. We can actually, oh no, that's brought up the wrong menu. Hang on. So is using the plus and minus and the DVR menu button to select. So if we go ahead and go onto the size and then press the DVR menu button, I really should have done this more and got more used to it, then you can see that we can actually change from VGA all the way up to HD the quality that we are recording at. Obviously this is going to take up more room on your memory card, but I think that's a really nice touch. So I'm going to record in HD and see what that's like. We can also change recording sound on and off if you've got that feature on your camera, and also the video time that it automatically captures for. So we can set this to 0, 20 minutes, we can set this to 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or turn that off completely. Now, if we press the cam DVR menu button again, we'll go into, if we do another long press, we'll go into another setup where we can format, change the language, do the system reset, and change our TV output as well, and the frequency refresh rate. So there's a very wide amount of things we can change on there, a couple more than we had on the original goggles. So now we're going to go ahead and go back into the cam DVR menu, and I'm going to go ahead and plug in my little camera so that you'll see we can go ahead and connect to that. So if we go ahead and go on the menu this time and go all the way to RSSI, this is suggested to do this the first time you set it up, is to calibrate the RSSI. So if we go ahead and plug this in and set it up, you'll see it's scanning through all the different channels. I'll see if I can focus that better, and you'll see we're getting reception on and off flicking through here, so that is whether we've got frequency on this or not. And you'll see in a sec it should jump up to the proper frequency. There we go, you've seen it's jumped up to the proper frequency level. So I think it scans this a couple of times and just goes through basically and sees which one is the best and if it's there constantly. And then once it's done that, you'll be able to press the scan button and it should just auto tune in to whichever is the best frequency. So I've gone ahead and auto-scanned and you'll see that the A and B signal bars are now full. Although it seems to be a bit of a problem. I have no idea what is going on here. It's really wavy and wibbly and I'm not sure what's going on there. When I move the camera, you can see that it does move. So don't know what happened there. I changed my quad and it works fine now. I thought I'd just show a little bit of the video because obviously we're not expecting the video quality to be vastly different or really any different at all from the previous Eachines. The upgrades are really with sort of usability and user friendliness in mind. So just to keep that in mind, this is just me doing a little bit of a test. comparing the two goggle DVRs. Now, it is raining outside, so unfortunately I couldn't get out to do a field test of these. I'll be sure to be doing one of those soon, but like I said, we're not really expecting much of a difference between the two goggles with regards to range and things such as that. So anyway, there's the review. I have to say the upgrades are worth it. This a little bit of extra foam padding on here and this extension of the faceplate really helps. It makes it feel a lot nicer on the face, and also it blocks out the light, because there was a bit of problem with the lights coming in at these sides, but using that larger faceplate, just even a little bit, and a bit thicker foam really helped resolve that issue. This also feels quite nice on the back of the head. Well, not quite nice, but a lot nicer than the plastic one that was on the original, because it's that padded leather, so it feels quite soft, and you can't really feel it digging into your head like you could with this one. So all in all, I'd say the upgrades are, yeah, they're definitely worth it. I was always suggesting getting this if it's even your beginner or your sort of intermediate and I can't afford proper FPV like the Fat Sharks. I would suggest these, but now the upgraded versions come out, I would still suggest getting the upgraded version, because these are probably one of the better goggles that I've seen, sort of the box versions. They're very nice, they're not heavy at all really, they've got DVR obviously and diversity as well, with these upgraded features such as the auto scan and telling us our battery life and sort of an on-screen display of the frequency. I think it's really good and nice touches to see on this Eachine pair of goggles. I think maybe I'd like to see sort of a miniaturized version of these. Maybe if they could do sort of a similar to Fat Sharks, that a lot of people seem to be hopping on the bandwagon now, like Aomwe, and also High P. Is it High P or High PV or something like that? Anyway, so yeah, maybe a miniature version of these could be next, sort of just a goggles as opposed to the box. But for now, I would suggest seriously getting these for anyone looking to get into FPV or looking to upgrade their box goggles, because these are really worth it, and I do really enjoy them. These are going to be my go-to now, from now on, and these will probably be my backup. Anyway guys, thanks for checking it out. Don't forget you can get a giveaway of this on my Patreon, so go ahead, the links for that is in the description. The link to this is in the description as well if you want to get that, and I'll see you next time guys. Peace out.